Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here. Iceland is beautiful. I was just wondering, looking at the beautiful nature and seeing how serene, how beautiful, how peaceful this place is. And I believe that it's part and parcel of what you are doing in trying to create peaceful societies worldwide by including more women in everything you do. And that is something that I think you have presented a model to the whole world, which we will use as well. So thank you very much for your leadership on this and for everything that you are doing. Also for UN Women, you are members of our board, executive board of UN Women, and Iceland is also one of our best supporters for UN Women, and we thank Iceland and everyone else behind this initiative for your support. So thank you very much. Excellencies, Prime Minister, Excellencies, all protocols observed, esteemed panelists and guests, it is my pleasure actually to be here this afternoon at the National Consultation on Addressing Gender-Based Violence. It is very inspiring to see many key decision makers, leaders, and influencers within government and law enforcement demonstrating their commitment to gender-responsive policing and to strengthening police and justice responses to gender-based violence. This is something extremely important. I am heartened by this, and now more than ever we need your leadership. And as I said, we also need your role model and your support to help us carry this experience to the world. Throughout the past 2.5 years, we have become acutely aware of how the multiple impacts of COVID-19 pandemic have triggered a shadow pandemic of increased violence of all kinds in our homes and in the public and online spaces. Global health, humanitarian, and urgent climate challenges have amplified the vulnerability that many individuals face, placing them at greater risk of experiencing such violence. Almost half of all women, 45%, reported that they or a woman they know experienced violence since the start of the pandemic. And 6 in 10 women have said that sexual harassment in public has worsened. One recent global study found that 38% of women have had personal experiences of online violence. The most recent global estimates released by UNODC show that in 2020, some 47,000 women and girls were killed by their intimate partners or other family members. This means that on average, a woman or a girl is killed by someone in her own family every 11 minutes. Violence experienced online can be as harmful as offline violence, with serious consequences for health and well-being and for economic, social, and political impacts. So, Excellencies, all forms of violence, whether online or offline, are products of deep-seated, unequal gender power relations and discrimination against women and girls in particular, and are part of a continuum of violence that takes place across urban, rural, online, and other settings, including across the humanitarian, development nexus, and climate-related disaster settings. We need to put a light on the different contexts in which this violence occurs, and we need to focus this light and invest more in research and in collecting data to better understand this continuum. Ensuring that all spaces are free of violence is key to accelerating action towards advancing gender equality and the achievement of the SDGs, all the SDGs. At the launch of the Generation Equality Action Coalition on Gender-Based Violence last year in Paris, the first ever multi-stakeholder and intergenerational platform to end violence against women and girls, member states, civil society, the UN, and the private sector, among many others, made commitments to drive long-term change in this sector. I congratulate Iceland for its leadership within the Generation Equality Gender-Based Violence Action Coalition and for the 23 commitments announced by Prime Minister Catherine in Paris that are already part of Iceland's roadmap for ending gender-based violence in 2026. We are grateful to Iceland for the financial contributions towards deepening our work around transforming patriarchal masculinities. We are also pleased to have a person seconded from Iceland Ministry of Foreign Affairs in UN Women working on masculinities. This work cuts across all thematic areas of UN Women's work, but it specifically contributes to the work of the Gender-Based Violence Action Coalition. Promoting positive masculinities as espoused in the Handbook on Gender-Responsive Police Services for Women and Girls Subject to Violence, which was developed by UN Women, the International Association of Women Police, and UNODC, it provides guidance for both senior management and frontline responders as they seek to move towards institutional transformation. I am pleased that the forthcoming joint project between the National Police Commissioner of Iceland, on behalf of the Icelandic Police, and UN Women will ultimately help to strengthen national police capacity to investigate and prevent gender-based violence, as well as to promote equal opportunities for female officers in career advancement and professional development. Ladies and gentlemen, our interventions must be grounded in the evidence of what works and address existing gaps in policy and programming in this area. Together with partners such as the International Association of Women Police and the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, UNODC, UN Women is fully committed through Generation Equality to strengthening multi-sectoral and coordinated responses to gender-based violence. This includes not only strengthening police and justice response throughout the rollout of the handbook in different countries, but also strengthening and expanding healthcare and other social services, including shelter and safe accommodation, and investing in social protection, livelihoods, and skills training. Having a truly gender-responsive, survivor-centered, and trauma-informed police and justice system where law enforcement officers, male and female, are fully trained, supported by management, and enjoy the faith and trust of communities in which they live and work is crucial to ensuring that women and girls remain safe and that those who perpetuate violence, including the most heinous crimes of femicide, are held accountable. On my recent visit to Tanzania, I witnessed firsthand the impact of gender-responsive policing. The Police Gender and Children's Desk in Stakishari has been receiving 4 to 5 cases per day, which is 3 times higher than the number of cases reported before it was established. They have developed standardized guidelines for referrals to aid them in their work and engage in active community outreach to build trust and encourage women to report. I end my remarks by reiterating France's last call at the Generation Equality Forum in Paris to create an alliance of governments and senior law enforcement officials who will help build widespread commitment among states and senior law enforcement to promote the benefits of gender-responsive policing. I hope that Iceland will be a key partner of this alliance as well. Excellencies, I am counting on you to be champions for all those who experience gender-based violence, including those who are most at risk of experiencing such violence. I am not the only one who is counting on you. Women and girls are counting on you as well. We must seize this opportunity that has been given to us through the creation of generation equality and take the bold and necessary actions that will transform our institutions, strengthen our responses, and prevent this violence from happening in the first place. I thank you.